it will say oo only. We learned before that EW is another, let me put that in the chat for you. EW can also make the long sound, and it can say you or just that last part, oo. EW can say you or oo, but today we're going to learn OO. And OO only makes that second sound, oo. Okay, like food or mood. Now, OO can also make another sound. It can also say like book or look or took. We don't have a letter in our alphabet that says We don't have a It's different than right? And it's different than oo. It's not oo, it's not it's like put, took, look. So we spell that with an OO. But today we're going to be talking about the long U sound that OO makes, which is most common. So when you see OO, there's about I'm going to say a 65-35% chance of what sound it's going to make. 65% of the time it's going to make that long U sound and say oo. So that's what we're going to be working on today. Okay, we're going to be working on that most common sound for OO, and it says oo, like food. So let me share my screen. Here we are. All right, now you might be wondering, since this is spelling class, well, if you can spell oo with an OO, when am I supposed to use an OO and when am I supposed to use just a regular U for the long? Because you can also say oo, right? Here's when. You're going to use a single letter when you can. So you're going to use a single U if one of the next two letters is another vowel. So like if the word was Cuba, we're going to use that U to spell that long U sound because you can. There's another vowel in the next one or two spots. Or scuba, okay? If you can use a single U, stop, you're done. That's the rule that we use for almost all the vowels. I can't think of a time when we don't. If you can use a single vowel, stop, you're done. You only need a vowel team if those next two letters are consonants, or if it's a consonant and then the end of the word. So in other words, if there's not another vowel one or two doors away, then that single U can't say oo. That's when you go to the most common grapheme that's used for the middle of words when the type 2 rule doesn't work, and that's the OO. So our first word is kupla. Kupla. Let's do this one together. We have k-u-p-l-a. Now I'm going to spell the k sound with a C because that's what we usually use. C is how we are always going to spell the k sound in this class until I teach you when not to, because I don't want you to ever have to guess. And this one has a pretty clear rule for when to use C and when to use K and when to use CK. I'm excited for that lesson to come up because I always talk about it. I'm like, it's coming. The C, CK, K lesson is coming, but I think it's actually in August. So for now, we're always going to use a C. Other vowels in this, consonants in this word are the p and the ul. K, u, p, ul, a. Now we can do the vowels. For the oo sound, I can't use a single U here because there is not another vowel in the next one or two spots. So this is not an option. When it's not an option, we're going to use the OO spelling for the oo sound. And then for at the end, we always use an A. Okay, try it. Your word is trupla. Trupla. T-r-u-p-l-a. Go ahead. Trupla, and then put it in the chat when you're done. trupla. Trupla. You're right, Emery. That also can spell the oo sound. Good. Trupla. Trupla. Emery, it can, but it's much less common. Okay, O is the much more common spelling. Yeah. All right, so consonants first. We have t, oo, p, l, a. Now for the oo sound, I try a regular U first. If it will work there, stop, I'm done. But it won't work there because it requires another vowel in the next 1 or 2 spots in order for it to make its long sound. If there's not one there, then I have to use option number 2, which is the next most common spelling for the oo sound. And that's the O-O. Okay? And then at the end, it's never going to be a U. U's don't come at the end of words. Only flu and U, and those are rule breakers. Words aren't allowed to end in U. So when you hear the sound, we spell it with an A. So our here at the end is going to be spelled with an A. That's how you spell the sound at the end of a word. That's a schwa. All right, number 2, broomp. Broomp. We have b, oo, p. Consonants. B, oo, p. Vowels. Ooh. Can I spell it with a U? Nope. What would that say? Yep, that would say brump. Brump. That you would have to make it short sound because of those 2 consonants. If I wanted to say ooh, I can't use a U. I must use an O-O. Broomp. Is this getting a little easier? Are you understanding it a little bit? Try yours. Kloonda. Kloonda. K-ul. Use a C. K-ul-oo-n-d-a. K-ul-oo-n-d-a. Kloonda. Good, Layla Toa. Kloonda. Nice. Yeah, you guys are getting it. That must feel good. Kloon. So my tongue is going to the top of my mouth in the middle. Kloonda. Kloonda. There you go. Good. All right, consonants. We have our C spelling the K sound, and then U, U, N, D, A. For the oo sound, I cannot use a U. That would say and I don't want I want oo. So we have to use our O-O. And then for the spelling at the end, I use an A, right? There's Kloonda. How are you doing? So far, so good? You getting it? Yeah? All right, well, how about we step it up a little bit? Do this one with me. I always want you to set you up for success. So I want it to seem easy. Okay, if it seems easy, then I'm doing my job right. So I want you to do the first one with me so you kind of get where I'm going, get what the rules are, then try it on your own so that you are successful and your brain knows that you know how to do this. So our word is gru sudla. Gru sudla. We have g, u, s, u, d, l, a. Gru sudla. Consonants. G, u, s, u, d, l, a. For this oo sound, can I use a U there? I sure can. I don't need to use a O-O there, do I? Because there's already a vowel in the next 1 or 2 spots. So that U is perfect there. Stop, I'm done. What about this spot? Can I use a U to spell the oo sound here? No, because there's not a vowel in the next 1 or 2 spots. So in that spot, I would have to use an O-O. And then for the sound at the end of words, I use an A. Gru, sud, la. So these 2 things say the same thing, but this one is fine with a U because of the tap 2 rule. This one requires an O-O because the next 2 letters are consonants. So keep that in mind when you go to make your next word here, to go to spell your next word. Good. Your word is flubusla. Flubusla. Hint, there are two L's in this word. Flubusla. I'm going to put the L's in where they belong. Flubusla. 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 Yeah, put it in the chat when you're ready. Take your time. Everybody's still working. Don't think that they're coming in the chat yet. Flubusla. Nice. Oh, must feel so good to get this. And if you're not getting it, I bet you get it when I explain it. And that counts. That counts. Flubusla. Here are some hints right here. Flubusla. Flubusla. Hard word with those L's. All right, consonants. We have f, u, b, u, s, a. For this oo sound, I can use a U just fine, can't I? Flu, this you can say oo because there's a vowel in the next one or two spots, so stop, I'm done. What about here? Can I use just a regular U to say oo here? No, I can't because there's not a vowel in the next one or two spots. If I can't use a U, I'm going to use an OO. Now I can say the oo sound right there. And then this sound at the end is spelled with an A. There is flubusla. Now, if you could spell flubusla, my friends, you can spell anything. And if you can read it with those L's in that spot and in that spot, you can read anything. If you can read flubusla, go slow, try it. Then I'm impressed. Well done. Flubusla. That's gotta feel good. Okay. These are not easy. We're still I mean, they're just accelerating in difficulty level. But I'm going to do one more somewhat difficult one and then we'll back it up just a little bit. So, your word is chun butter. I want you to do this one without me. Chun butter. Ch u n b a d a. Chun butter. Chun butter. Chun butter. Take your time. Oh, so close. Just one letter. Look at it carefully. Look at it carefully. You can do it. You can do it. Chun butter. You can figure it out. It's like a puzzle. It's like a puzzle. You can figure it out. Chun butter. And for the D right here, it could be a T, but I want it to be a D. Chun butter. But if you put a T, I get it. I totally get it. I wouldn't consider that incorrect. All right, consonants. We have a ch, u, n, b, a, d, a. For the oo sound, can I use a U to say oo here? No. That U would say in that spot. I don't want I want oo, which means I must have an OO vowel team right there. Now for this sound, can I use just a regular U? I could as long as there's two consonants after it, right? If there's not two, make two. Now that you can say Chun bud There's chun butter. And if you put T's right here, that's okay. I get that. Because T's can make that D sound too. All right, last one. I don't want it to be too easy. How about oh, that's very similar. Shatupla. 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 Go ahead. Oh, I understand. Shatupla. 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 Okay. I'm not seeing anything in the chat yet. I don't want to rush you, but we do only have a minute and a half left. Shatupla. All right, now they're starting to come in. Nice. Okay. So for shatupla, our consonants are sh, t, u, p, l, right? Now for the sound right here, I'm going to start with a u. Can I end with a u? Can that u say there? It cannot, because there's another vowel in the next one or two spots. If that happens, that would force that u to say oo. I don't want it to say oo. I want it to say but that short sound requires two consonants after it. If there's not two, make two. Now that you can say there, nice and happy. For this oo sound, can I use a u to say oo? It won't say oo here because there's two consonants after it that would say I don't want it to say I want it to say oo, which requires two o's. And for the sound at the end, I always use an a. So there is shatupla. Shatupla. Now, if you missed a sound because you were not hearing it, don't count that as an error. If you spelled what you heard, brilliant. That's the best that you could possibly do, is to spell what you heard. I can't expect you to do the impossible. And if you got close, consider that a win. I do. Because you just learned this 15 minutes ago. And it's going to take a lot of practice to get a skill down that you just learned within the last 15 minutes. But I would invite you to go to the extra practice pretty quickly after this class and try to spell those words while this rule is fresh in your brain. There's a video there where actually there's written words there so that you can see the spelling right after you try it on your own so that you can kind of solidify what you've learned today. And then don't worry, we're going to do a lot of repetition so that you can get it more and more deeply embedded into those nerve pathways. All right, my friends, you're wonderful. I'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.